everyone. Welcome to episode 149 of the Game Moose podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan Turford, alongside the Broccoli Brock McLaughlin, who couldn't wait to start the podcast so much that when I was about to give the intro, he gave his own intro.
What's happening, everybody?
He feels like he needs to be me today.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Game Moose podcast.
My name is Ryan Turford.
My name's Ryan Turford.
Do I really sound like this?
No.
All right. Because, this sounds like there's too much cheer in my voice, and there's no cheer there.
You're a happy guy.
You're a happy-go-lucky guy, man.
Yeah.
If anything, it's usually Drew's kind of down, and then I'm a wild card.
Everyone just describes me as being dead inside all the time, so, I'm so not used to people telling me I'm happy.
But Ryan, you got your favorite game this week. Oh, there's a big-ass piece of food on my shirt. All right. Good thing this isn't on video, am I right?
Yeah.
And the ghost with the most, Drew McMillan, is also here today.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. So, of course, you're listening to the Game Moose podcast, where we hit you up every single week at noon Eastern Standard Time on Mondays. On podcast services around the globe, and as well as on YouTube as well. Without the video, sans video, but, the audio's there if you want to check it out. If you like what we do, of course, please rate us, review us on your podcast service of choice. It really goes a long way to helping us out. Also, if you are listening on YouTube as well, feel free to like the video, subscribe to the channel. We have unboxings and other things going up all the time, so you can check those out on the YouTube page as well. Of course, check out our website as well, game-moose.com, where you're probably listening to this podcast or reading some other weird article that Drew wrote about things and stuff.
Yeah.
You can tell we're winding down for the holidays. Drew's already got his shoes off in the studio here.
Yeah.
Just showing me his 5 little toes on both feet.
I get sweaty feet, so I like to wear my shoes if I can avoid it.
Yeah.
I go barefoot if I could, but these floors are pretty dirty.
I'm not a barefoot guy ever.
Yeah?
I like slippers on my feet, socks on my feet, shoes on my feet,
No, I like
loaves of bread on my feet.
Jesus.
I like to feel the breeze between my toes.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Whereas
I don't like looking at feet.
I'm very much a barefoot person. Anywhere, pretty much. Anywhere I can get away with it. That's usually how I do it. So speaking of winding down the year, Brock, I'm glad you brought that up, because next week, ladies and gentlemen, will be our last show before we take a break for the holidays. So look out for that. The funny thing about next week's episode, you guys, I don't know if you caught this based on the number of episodes. Next week's episode 150, also our last episode of the year. So
It's glorious.
Be excited.
The original run of Pokemon.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's the original run. It's very exciting. We don't really have anything planned for 150, but it's a big milestone.
We're going to celebrate.
Are we?
I found you guys some Unreal things yesterday. I'm going to bring in.
Are we going to talk about Unreal Tournament finally? Because Unreal things.
They screamed at me from the shelves. Ryan, Drew.
Oh.
Ryan, Drew.
Ooh.
I was like, oh, cool.
Ooh. Is this like when I gave you the racing pugs?
Yeah.
I was
just like
I was like, I can't not buy this for Brock. This is so stupid.
Guys, you guys are both getting Yummy Mummy Pez dispensers for Christmas. Congratulations.
I love Yummy Mummy is a good breakfast cereal.
I'm glad that
Yummy Mummy is the name of my older
audience.
girlfriend.
Oh, that's problematic.
And that's where the show went on the rails. Off the rails.
On the rails.
On the rails.
I mean,
we're finally back.
At
We're
this
back
point,
on the rails.
if we talk about like milfs and ding dongs, I think that's kind of what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. 149 episodes of it.
Yeah, exactly.
140 episodes. Oh
man. Drew,
We
can you
wouldn't
believe?
we wouldn't be found on Tumblr this week.
nope,
Nope.
Crack down on that.
We got flagged. My favorite is like all of the stuff that's getting flagged that's definitely not porn on Tumblr. There's like people like, here's like my my instructional series for like, drawing, where I've drawn a bunch of like shaded spheres, and they all were flagged for adult content.
I mean, on one hand, it sucks you can't see Toad's penis on Tumblr anymore. But on the other hand, it gets rid of child porn, and that's good.
If you're hosting child porn on your service, you gotta do something about that. If it means that some fucking spheres get flagged, you know what?
But Drew, wouldn't someone please think about the spheres?
What I'm trying to say is, if it means we lose the spheres and the child porn, I'm okay with it for now. We'll figure out how to bring the spheres back, not the child porn.
Fair
Let's
enough.
Shut that down.
Fair enough. All right. So today we've got a pretty busy show. We're not going to run it down because we're just going to jump right into it. We're that excited, of course.
Shit happened, dude.
Drew, there was an award show that we talked about last week.
Yeah.
That happened. We're not going to talk anything about the awards, because if you want to go read who won all the awards at the Game Awards, you can go do that. Any other article.
The one thing I want to say is, all of the like sort of the backlash that Sonic Fox has been getting is not cool. Like,
I didn't even see the backlash.
Don't be a dick. You know how it is. But the usual. Like, he came out there and said he's a black gay furry.
But he does that at everything.
I know, but that was his biggest platform.
Yeah.
And so he said that in front of millions of people, and then people were dicks about it. And now people like the CSGO community is saying, well, like, fighting games aren't as hard to master, so
what?
Why? Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh, it's almost like the gaming community is made up of toxic people that he went out against.
Yeah.
He had a point, and good for him. Sonic Fox, I don't know when you're going to be added to Smash, but I hope it's soon.
Yeah. I think Sonic Fox, I think he's a weird dude, but I think it's cool that he's just like, fuck it, and owns it.
No, when he was on the stage, it was a magical moment.
To be fair, I'm a weird dude, so
I'm here for him. I'm fucking down.
Like furries, not my thing, but I'm not gonna yuck your yum.
No, do your thing. Yeah. You can live your life. If that makes you happy. That's totally fine by me.
Just keep doing your best. That's all. That's all we're saying.
Also, the other thing I'm going to say before we get into the announcements, Lena Raine got totally robbed for the Best Soundtrack Award. I'm just saying it right now.
I think Frostpunk should have got something. I don't know.
There's been a lot of really good soundtracks this year.
Yeah.
But Celeste's soundtrack was so good.
Celeste's was very good.
Really good.
And the way
I love Red Dead's. I think Red Dead's is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, those live performances were dope.
God of War had a great soundtrack.
The Celeste live performance and the Red Dead live performance just flattened
the fact that they had her play with Hans Zimmer, I was like, what?
Yeah.
What the fuck is this?
Like, don't get me wrong. I like Run the Jewels. There was too much Run the Jewels last year.
Yeah.
This is what we needed.
But Drew, what did you say about the Devil May Cry performance?
It was bad. It was not good.
It's actually really good in the context of the game, like when you're playing it, because the demo for that Devil May Cry 5 came out this week, and it has that song during the combat, and it makes sense when you play it. But then when you hear it on its own, it's like,
well, and
it's just not great.
I explained that to my girlfriend. I'm like, you need to understand that Devil Trigger is like a thing from the video game, and it's it's like a Japanese Japanese people use the English language in a way that's a little bit different than native English speakers use it, because they don't have the same sort of like cultural baggage that we have as it relates to some of those English words, in the same way that we co-opt Japanese words in ways that Japanese people probably wouldn't expect.
Yeah.
So she was in the bathroom, and she overheard like the lyrics. And I'll say this: Trigger, when you say it really fast, rhymes with a racial epithet that like nobody should ever say.
That's true.
And all I heard from the bathroom was, "What? You can't say that. You can't sing that word." And I was like, no, that's not what they're saying. That's not what they're saying at all. And then she heard it, and she's like, "That's too close." And I'm like, "Yeah, but like they've been using it in the game for years. They can't just change the lyrics now." But it was still really cheesy.
Yeah, exactly.
It was cheesy as fuck. Like they couldn't have got Baby Metal to do a song. Those guys rock. Like get a good Japanese metal band.
Yeah. I mean, again, I think the song in the game isn't actually that bad when you play it. But yeah, it's just when you listen to it on its own, not great. All right, so we're going to do this differently than we did last year with the Game Awards. Last year at the Game Awards, we talked about just all the announcements in a row. We're not going to do that either. Again, you can go to like an article on Polygon that I have up right now.
There were too many.
In reference. There are also too many. There are a lot of announcements. So we're going to go around and each talk about our favorite announcement from the thing, and then we'll go from there. So, Brock, what announcement from the Game Awards got you excited? Or were there any?
I don't know. Should have started with me.
Well, I can come back.
Remember, I was at the airport when this was going on, and so I took a red eye home from LA. Didn't sleep on the flight because I got busy watching movies. I watched Fahrenheit 411. Started going off topic. It's a good movie. I feel like if you haven't read the book, though, you'd be kind of confused, especially at the end. It's a little weird. And then some other weird movies, and then I landed, and then I went about my day and didn't really sleep, and then I fell asleep on the couch at 8:30 last night. I was about to play Ashen. But no, long story short, I don't know what I'm excited for.
We'll come back to you.
Okay, cool.
Drew?
Outer Worlds.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Outer Worlds. It's awesome, man.
There you go.
Outer Worlds looks so cool.
It looks...
Explain.
Outer Worlds is the new game from Obsidian. It's their last game before the Microsoft acquisition. So they said Microsoft, while they were in the process of acquiring them, found out that they're working on this game, but they'd already signed a deal with Take-Two.
Well, they had announced this game last year. Last year at this time.
Well, they had announced they were working on
Well,
a
that's
game.
what I mean. That they had announced they're developing that, but they announced that plus the partnership with 2K at the time.
So they had already signed the deal, so it was too late. So this is their last game before becoming a wholly owned Microsoft studio. These guys are the guys who, of course, who worked on things like, it's the people who worked on the original Fallout. They also worked on Fallout New Vegas. Yeah. That was, of course, when they were part of Black Isle. And then New Vegas is when they became Obsidian. So like they've lived through a bunch of different game studios. They even mentioned Troika, which is the studio that developed the game that I thought this was going to be, which was Arcanum of Steamworks Obscura. Mm-hmm. So Troika is another studio that they developed with some of the former Black Isle people. All those people are now under one umbrella, and they are all working on this game, which is really, really exciting because that's a lot of really, really good RPG talent.
It also helps too that this looks very much like Fallout.
Yeah, it's got kind of that flavor. So it's sort of like this dystopian,
like it's like a space western almost.
Yeah, it's the space western. It very much has that flavor. The notion is that you're on a colony way out in the remote worlds, and the companies have basically taken over. Mm-hmm. Right? That's what they say. That's sort of like the intro VO we get from this like mad scientist-y looking kind of dude who's like waking you up from like cryo sleep. And it seems really funny. It's got a really good sense of humor. Like that character seemed pretty funny. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it looks really, really, really cool game. It's a first-person shooter. It's got RPG stuff. And they said that it borrows a lot from the stuff that they learned from New Vegas. So yeah. Exactly. Which is great.
Yeah, like a new like version of what Fallout New Vegas was, but without the Fallout IP, but in space.
Yes.
Like sign me up. It looks awesome.
Done.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Because, I mean, the trailer also showed a lot of gameplay. It wasn't just a cinematic trailer either, which is what I liked about it.
Yeah.
Like, they showed off what the world looks like, but like a little bit of tease of the story and the gameplay. So, yeah, I'm all in on this game. It sounds awesome.
Yeah.
The biggest announcement for me, and I'm very surprised it's another one that I'll get to in a second, is Joker coming to Smash Brothers? Joker from Persona 5 coming to Smash Brothers? Are you fucking kidding me? I fucking like almost flipped my table over when I heard this.
This is insane.
I lost my mind.
Yeah, I didn't think they would ever do this. Yeah. It's kind of nuts.
Because for me, we talked about it last year. I'm a huge fan of Persona 5. Mm-hmm. It's a PlayStation exclusive game. So it's weird that Joker is being...
That's not the first time Joker's been on a Nintendo device.
That's true because he's in Persona Q2.
Yes.
So I mean, that's kind of like the entryway. Mm. But still, like the trailer they showed was like, made it look like almost like Persona 5 was just coming to other consoles when in fact it's not. And it was done in that like style, that artistic style that was so awesome in Persona 5.
They did a really fun like VO where they like, they were poking fun at themselves and at the Game Awards and stuff like that. They're like, wait, Joker and Smash? This doesn't make any sense. It's kind of nuts that this is happening. I still don't care about Smash, but
I know.
It's kind of crazy.
Are we going to get Persona 5 on
Switch?
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, it's on PS3. So I mean, it's not a question of can it run on Switch.
I love all the news outlets this week running headlines. Rumor alert: Persona coming to Switch based on a Smash trailer we saw.
When nothing more than that. We know that that's not how that works because first of all,
it's not how that works.
When they announced Cloud, everyone was like, "Oh, it's Final Fantasy VII's coming to Switch." It did eventually, like 4 years later. But that's the thing. But there's no Castlevania games on
Final
Switch.
Fantasy VII's on the Switch.
It's coming next year.
Oh yeah. Right.
Because with all the other Final Fantasy games.
But this was crazy.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't at least it felt like something impossible.
Yeah.
You know, like that this would happen.
For sure.
That Atlas would play ball with Nintendo this way is kind of weird.
It's also weird to think about too, because now that Atlas is owned by Sega, this is now Sega's second character. Konami got 2 characters with Snake and the Castlevania Simon.
Yeah.
And then Capcom has 2 characters. Ooh. And now Sega has 2 characters. So all the third-party franchises except Square that are represented in Smash have 2 characters now, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
pretty weird.
I'm pretty interested to see.
I don't know what his fight style is going to be like, but I'm into it.
Well, I mean, he's going to be like a mid to long range character because like, assume your special attacks button, there are going to be all of the different personas that Joker summons, and his attacks will basically be with his dagger. Like he has a dagger that he uses. And he also uses a gun, but I don't know if they're going to weave that into the gameplay. So I imagine like he's going to use his special attacks for long range moves, and then up close stuff he's going to use with his dagger.
I could see a gun is a quick move, like a bang.
Yeah, exactly. Like I mean, maybe they'll wield it in. It's just a normal gun, so I mean, it's not like it's a special gun or anything like that. I don't know how Nintendo feels about guns.
Well, they have Snake with a gun.
Well,
Metroid kind of has a gun.
Blaster.
Yeah.
Mega Man.
Now to be fair, Snake doesn't use a pistol. Snake uses a rocket launcher, but he mostly is hand-to-hand moves.
Yeah.
With his moveset. So, But the other announcement that I really thought never could happen either, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, I can't believe that's a real game. That's actually happening.
By Team Ninja.
By Team Ninja, published by Nintendo.
Yeah. On the Switch only.
On the Switch only.
Yeah, on the Switch only, because I guess Nintendo got the rights from Marvel. Like this is a Marvel Studios game.
Does this mean Xbox is going to get their own exclusive Marvel?
I would be very surprised if they didn't at this point.
Right?
Because we've had
Sony's got the Avengers.
Well, no, Sony's got Spider-Man.
Sony's got Spider-Man.
And then Nintendo's got this. And by the way, this is like a perfect fit for Nintendo's console.
Yeah.
Because like Diablo is such a big fit already. And Marvel Ultimate Alliance, literally for those who haven't played it, is literally just a top-down game like Diablo, but with Marvel Catholic.
Yeah,
never thought we'd get another one of those games.
Yeah, me either.
Never thought we'd get another one.
No.
I just hope it's a little bit more engaging than the last two.
Yeah.
The last two are fine. They're just not over the top great.
I think the combat's good in those games, but the story is
The
terrible.
story is fucking garbage.
Yeah.
But they are fun.
Especially like in 2, because 2 was
Yeah.
trying to do Civil War, and it did like a weird
2
truncated
was
version
painful.
of Civil War. But
Anything really back at S.H.I.E.L.D. was not fun.
yeah, exactly. But I love just the idea of having like a top-down RPG with Marvel characters. Plus, it's awesome too because it's for all the Marvel Cinematic Universe characters, they look like their Cinematic Universe counterparts. But then you've got X-Men in it too, which is cool because that hasn't happened in any of the Marvel games that we've had since Marvel Studios became a thing, really.
Yeah.
So it's awesome to see the X-Men back in this game. Although the only one we have confirmed is Wolverine at this point. But from the press release, it sounds like there's more.
Wolverine fighting a Sentinel. That's important. And he was fighting in front of the Xavier's Academy for Gifted Children, right? So like, I kind of felt like that was their way of saying, yes, the X-Men are in this.
You'll have Cyclops and fucking
And again,
Jean
the
Grey.
press release we received from Nintendo had basically stated there are more X-Men.
Jean Grey or Phoenix? I'd rather play as Phoenix than Jean Grey.
Probably Jean. I don't know. Probably Jean Grey. It'd be weird to have Phoenix, wouldn't it?
Nah, I mean we've had Phoenix in like fighting games and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Phoenix was in one of the Ultimate Alliance games, and Jean Grey was in the other one.
Yeah.
So it'll be one of the two of them, I'm guessing.
There you go.
I mean, they have that new movie coming out next year, Drew. That new X-Men movie, Dark Phoenix.
If they do, they do. So, by all counts, doesn't look horrible. I mean the trailer doesn't look bad.
Yeah.
I want to talk about something impossible that happened at the Game Awards.
All right.
That is not a game announcement, but they opened with a humdinger.
Yeah.
We had 3 people on stage that we've never seen on one stage together at a live event ever.
Yeah.
We had Jack Layton, we had Phil Spencer, and we had Reggie from Nintendo. So the respective heads of each of the game division, North American game division. So Jack is the head of PlayStation US. You have Phil, who's Xbox US, and Reggie, who's Nintendo US. That's kind of nuts to have them all sitting in there. And I was kind of secretly hoping that they were going to say, and everybody likes to play together, crossplay for everything. Woo! We're committed to it. We're going to make it happen. See you in 2020.
Like, has the crossplay even happened for Fortnite yet? It was supposed to be in November, but I don't think it's launched yet.
I haven't played Fortnite recently. I can't tell you.
Yeah.
When was the last time you played Fortnite, Ryan? When was the last time you played Fortnite?
Like 2 years ago?
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Yeah, it was only 2 months ago.
But Season 7 came out this week.
That's true. I installed the update on my Switch, but I have not played it.
It's got Santa Claus.
It does. It has a skin that looks very much like Gritty, too, that I can't wait to get. It's a blue Gritty.
Ooh.
It's like a Sasquatch meets Gritty.
Gritty is life.
Gritty is life.
So, Brock, when can we expect your creation to appear in the world? Because it'll be the most popular creation out there.
Well, I'll probably get really baked next week and make up something. I'm really stoked for the creation mode.
Yeah, it looks interesting.
It looks cool. So now you can leave a creation on the map where Risky Reels used to be for millions of people to see and play around with.
Well, they're selecting which one's going to go there, right?
But they're going to switch and they're going to be a different game. So people will see them.
Yeah.
They're not going to be like, you just don't know.
What's cool about it, too, is that it happened during the show.
Yeah.
They showed it in-game happening.
There's also a create an island mode now, which I can't wait to play with.
Yeah.
Where you can have a private server with you and your friends to play on your own island and make up your own rules. It looks killer.
That's a great idea.
I love it. And
it's a fucking moneymaker.
And it's a battle pass add-on, right?
Yeah.
It's not a free the creator mode.
I think the default creator mode to create something isn't.
Create the island is free.
Island,
yeah.
I know one of them is free and one of them is
creator mode is battle pass.
Okay.
Create the island I think is free.
Okay.
Which is great. It's a great add-on. I don't really know what's happening to Saves the World. They put it in a blog post. It's being saved for next year. Honestly, I only go for Saves the World for free V-Bucks. That's about it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm not a big fan. But what they're doing now in Season 7 is
It's
really,
the game that
really
keeps on
cool.
giving. It does.
It really does. There's some really cool add-ons this year, and there's a whole big part of the map. So I'm going to go explore later.
Very exciting.
One other game I want to touch on before we move on, of course, Mortal Kombat 11, Drew.
There's another game we're going to talk about.
Well, okay, we will talk about another game.
Yeah.
So Mortal Kombat 11, though.
Fuck, that looked awesome.
That trailer looked great.
Yeah.
It had the dumb rapping again, because we had rapping again in Mortal Kombat 10.
It did have dumb rapping. And of course, I say that in so much as that that is not I like some hip hop, but that was whatever that was not my thing. But keep in mind, I am an almost 40-year-old white man, so
I like my hip-hop gangster shit, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not hip-hop funny.
yeah.
You know, I'm not a Weird Al Yankovic, Macklemore kind of hip hop guy, all right? I like my shit like the streets where I come from.
Brock, I like how that's your bar for what separates gangster rap from non-gangster.
See, I like a subgenre of rap that like virtually doesn't exist anymore, which is conscious rap. So like,
Right.
I like stuff like I like Common, and
I can send you lots of conscious rap.
like
There's lots
rap.
of conscious rap out there.
I like Jurassic.
It's just not popular.
I like those. I like those guys. I like De La Soul.
Oh yeah.
You know, but like,
There's a lot of women doing that now.
I'm not into that gangster shit. I'm not into that gangster. I don't like Cardi B. I don't like that mumble rappers. I don't like that Migos.
You don't like that Migos?
No, you can. I don't mind. I don't mind. What's his name there? The kid with the very popular white kid right now
Oh,
with the bad
Jeezy
tattoos.
or Logic? Oh, Post Malone.
Post Malone. I don't mind Post Malone. I'll fuck with a little Post Malone. He's got like a real melodic kind of.
I watched a documentary on Post Malone because he was the #1 streaming artist this year.
Yeah.
So he beat out Drake and the Greatest Showman soundtrack,
I'm very happy to hear that.
which
Because
is
Drake don't care for.
which is crazy, but it's because Post Malone plays that line between rock, country, and hip hop in all his
does.
songs. So he gets and pop music, so he gets all kinds of different radio stations.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really sing, and he doesn't really rap, and everything's really slow, and he enunciates every word of his.
Yeah.
So people hear and they're like, they remember it, so they have to play it more.
Yeah.
And that's why he's so big, because people come back, they're like, we know every word to that song. Unlike like a Cardi B or a Migos or even like a Beyonce. You can't sing along to Beyonce in your like public, but Post Malone, you know the words.
Yeah.
Living like a Brock star, baby.
Yeah. I don't know if he's Post Malone's doing it on purpose.
I think he's definitely doing it on purpose.
When are we going to get a Post Malone video game? That's what I want to know.
When's it happening?
Soon.
Yeah.
Probably soon.
All that to say, there was parts of that trailer, the musical part of the trailer I did not enjoy, but
what we saw from the cinematic looked great.
Really cool. Red Raiden, like what was his deal? Like he looks like a very angry Raiden. I don't know. Is
I don't
he
know.
evil Raiden?
I gotta plug something when we go back to Post Malone. Friday, I'm dropping something with Post Malone. Stay tuned.
Oh.
Yeah, December 14th.
That's very exciting.
What up?
I'm very confused right now.
Posty, baby.
I think I have an idea what it is, but I don't want to ruin it. We'll talk about it after.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
But yeah, it looks like there's some weird stuff going on there. He's fighting a kind of new looking scorpion with like sort of like a modern looking scorpion. He defeats the scorpion, and then very old school like MK3 scorpion comes walking out.
Yeah, and then they show like before the trailer ends, they show like like an hourglass almost. So it looks like there's some kind of weird time travel stuff
There's some
going on.
timey-wimey shit going on in this fucking Mortal Kombat game.
Yeah, and then
But there was time travel in Mortal Kombat 10, right?
Right.
So the whole thing was that like Raiden went back in time and warned people what was going to happen, and that sort of changed.
that was Mortal Kombat, the reboot.
Was that 9?
No, yeah, that was 9.
There was 9.
Yeah.
So they kind of like changed history.
Yeah.
And I wonder if now it's going to happen again. I don't know.
Or like maybe this will be like the third, like the wrapping up of that storyline.
Yeah.
Because that storyline continued in 10.
Yeah.
But it was like very much like that was the in between game.
I really enjoyed how they did that announcement because Ed Boon came walking out on stage and he was there to give the award for best. It was like
Sports/racing game.
Sports/racing game. And my girlfriend and I were watching it. And I'm like, why the fuck is he doing this? And then they did a thing where like they interrupted his his giving out the award to do the announcement as though like MK took over the show.
Yeah.
Right.
And then of course they come
lights
back and he
went out,
actually gives out the award for real.
which is great because
Yeah.
Ed Boon is a good dude.
One thing I want to mention about this is that they did post screenshots later of the actual gameplay.
Yeah.
Looks awesome. It looks like Injustice, like just as good as Injustice 2 looked.
Injustice 2 looked so good.
Like it's still using that same engine.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that this game's going to really pop. But then the other piece of information that they didn't say in the trailer, it's coming to all the other consoles, including Switch. So this is the first Mortal Kombat game on a Nintendo platform since Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero. Drew, I don't know if you knew this, but that was a really long time ago. Like there hasn't been a Mortal Kombat game on a Nintendo platform since then.
It's been a while.
So
It's been a minute.
Ryan, I'm surprised you haven't brought up Far Cry. I thought you were excited about that.
we're going to get to that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
There
I
are
jumped
two
ahead.
more games that I really want to talk about.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
okay.
Drew, let's go to yours,
Shit.
and then we'll talk about Far Cry.
So much excitement. Oh,
Dragon
right.
Age, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Dragon Age.
We literally saw like nothing from it.
No, it was a tease. It was a real light tease.
It was basically an
I'm shocked
announcement
that we
of an
didn't see
announcement.
more of it.
Yeah.
Since we've already known that it's coming.
They've been working on it for a long time, but they just want, for whatever reason they're saving it for probably one of their own
Some
events.
other event later.
The thing they did was tease like sort of like the mythology stuff that I wanted to learn more about, which was cool.
Yeah.
You're big into that mythology.
I love that
you
mythology.
Love your mythology.
I'm a mythology guy.
What's crazy is
you're a mythologist.
Yeah, they call me Mr. Mythology.
Yeah, that's actually a dope name. That's a really cool name. We should call you that now.
Yeah.
We're retiring the ghost of the most because
Yeah,
here comes Mr.
Mr.
Mythology.
Mr. Mythology. So Drew, did you ever go back and play the DLC for Inquisition?
I still haven't. I basically was like, I don't have time for this shit, and then read a bunch of like synopses about what happened.
I didn't either, but apparently, like the third DLC pack, the Trespasser pack,
It's
has a
very
lot
important.
to do with like leading into this
It's
trailer.
very important.
And this trailer makes so much more sense apparently if you know if you played it.
So here's the deal. Spoilers for Dragon Age Inquisition if you haven't played it yet, but the game's been out forever. Stop listening for the next 3 minutes.
You should
if
go
don't
play
like
it if you haven't played it.
It's great. I really like it, especially if you like Dragon Age. Like we said last time, you should play this game. But essentially, they confirmed what was a fan theory that we knew for a long time, which is that Solus. We got like a little tease of it at the end of the normal Inquisition.
Game.
Yeah, when the core campaign wraps up, you find out that basically Solus is not just some wild elven mage. He is in fact the ancient spirit of the Dread Wolf,
Right.
Fenrael, who's like this like really important character in the mythology.
Hence hashtag the Dread Wolf Rises.
That's right. So the Dread Wolf, the whole story in the game is that there were there's all this like background, like this mythology that like there were the old gods and there were the elven gods, and they were sort of at war with one another and with themselves. Like the elven gods were constantly infighting and stuff like that. And one of the elven gods was the Dread Wolf. And he's sort of like cast in this bad light. He's called the Betrayer, right? Because the whole thing is he tricks the old gods and the elven gods into sealing themselves away. Mm-hmm. And we find out that, in fact, what he did was he created the Fade.
Right.
He created the line between reality and sort of like the magical realm, the Fade, where like your thoughts can change reality, right? He created that barrier. And what that means. So like he's sort of cast as this bad guy, but he comes out and says like, no, like I was making the best of a bad situation. He's like, all the other options were worse. So like we're starting to realize the way the big sort of overarching theme of like Dragon Age is sort of like that history is written by the winners. Right. And then, so basically what ended up happening was essentially the elven gods with their power, they sort of like, even though they've been sealed away, they use their influence to sort of paint the Dread Wolf Fenrael as like the bad guy in this story, but it may have been that he was actually the good guy. And then the other part of it is the old gods have become tainted, and they're the ones who become the archdemons, right? They're the ones who lead the armies of the hordes of the bad guys who are like attacking the cities, and they're sort of being awakened one at a time. So, and there's all this stuff. Like we know there's this like there's lyrium, which is the stuff that powers everyone's magical abilities,
right?
And there's red lyrium that like corrupts people, and that has some connection to the corruption with the archdemons and the darkspawn. Yeah. So like we're still waiting for all those pieces to be put together, and it sounds like it's finally happening. Like,
which sounds like with this game, it's going to bring all that.
So the revelation that Solus is the Dread Wolf was huge, and that kind of left everybody hanging. Like, what are they going to do with that next? And he says and we also find out that the Witch of the Waste is actually Mythal, and she was betrayed by the other elven gods. She was the real betrayed. Mm-hmm. She was murdered by them. So like some shit went down, and also we found out that the elven gods probably weren't actually gods either. They were just really powerful magicians.
Right.
So this whole notion of like that mythology is this like twisted form of what actually happened, and that we're learning what the true history of the world is really, really cool. Like that stuff really excites me. That's the kind of stuff that like gets my nerd juice all flowing.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see where they go with this. Like, I hope that like there's going to be more Grey Wardens. We learn what the Darkspawn really are, what the Red Lyrium is. There's a big sort of like image of this like dark, corrupt, multi-eyed monster, and what looks to be, I think, soulless.
Yeah,
on the ground.
It looks like, it's like going back and looking at a freeze frame of that.
Yeah.
It definitely looks like it.
Yeah.
And then the red lyrium in the middle, which is apparently, according to what happens in the DLC,
Yeah.
is that he's going to use the red lyrium to destroy the veil.
Yes.
To basically undo the creation of the fade.
Yeah.
In order to save the world, essentially, or what he thinks will happen.
Yeah.
What he thinks will save it, essentially.
Yeah.
So that's what that's supposed to. That image.
But he was the one who created the veil in the first place. So
exactly.
I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. It's all very interesting.
Exactly. So
Woo!
I can't wait to see more of that game.
I play it for the dragons.
Yeah. There are cool dragons in that game.
Yeah.
And fucking.
Yeah.
So
the game fucking rules. I love it.
There's fucking dragons and cool mythology, I am on board.
So down.
That's Drew's style.
Yeah.
I really think Dragon Age is an awesome game.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic game.
On so many levels. The gameplay is really fun. Like the RPG gameplay is really fun.
And 2 is free right now on Xbox, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Again,
Like, 2 is not the greatest one.
don't love 2, but there's still some fun you can have of it. I love that like it also has like again has a great story. It has a lot of sort of like LGBTQ sort of like inclusiveness in it. Like, you know, like you can have like queer relationships if you so
You
choose.
can scissor.
You is that an option? Is that like a text choice option?
I don't think it's a text choice option. But you can scissor.
Is it like a drop down menu? It's like scissoring.
Scissor
Yes.
me timbers.
Scissor on.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 So yeah, I'm really excited to find out more about this game.
Yeah.
Who the fuck knows when it's coming out? But yeah, because we keep hearing that it's still could be really far away.
Yeah.
And we know Anthem is coming in a couple months.
Yeah.
People are already playing it this weekend with the alpha.
Yeah, some
I
friends
don't know if anyone else got into it.
Yeah. My friends are playing the alpha right now. I mean, I'm stuck here in the office, so
Well, there's like different times for the alpha too.
yeah, there is. I didn't sign for the alpha this weekend just because I knew it was going to be too busy, but like my friends are playing it and telling me.
Yeah.
It took a little bit of jostling for them to get in this morning. Like not everything is smooth, but as you'd expect with an alpha, like that's just how things go.
Oh yeah,
So,
exactly.
I feel like I should have signed up, mainly because I don't have high hopes for this game.
interesting.
Well, they did show the story trailer from Anthem, and I don't think anyone was really like super jazzed by it.
I know it's got
I don't
a dude.
even-
It's
I
got
don't
an
remember.
evil. Like there's an evil javelin dude.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So evil dude and a javelin.
Does he ride a horse?
Nobody's got purple.
Why
stuff.
would you ride? Why would you have a javelin?
No, the javelins are what the suits are called.
That's what there's. Yeah. Your cool suits.
Space
Iron
suits.
Man
I was like, a javelin's not a very intimidating
So
weapon.
the Iron Man armor is called the javelin.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's not called Iron Man armor.
No.
No.
Oh, wow.
No,
Surprisingly, that's trademarked.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're saying they're not in Infinity War 2?
Nope.
Okay.
Didn't make the cut.
Oh, wow.
No.
Okay.
They
Just
did not make it
too
into
many Marvel characters, eh?
an Avengers Endgame,
Oh.
as it's now called.
Yep.
Uh,
As we found out yesterday.
yeah. So Infinity War now Endgame. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. The last game we should talk about before we move on, Drew. Far Cry New Dawn.
Yes.
I mean, our boy JS DeCant, who we met
Yes.
in person,
Yes.
in real life, we interviewed him.
Yes.
Came out on stage and announced that the thing we already knew about because it leaked before the show.
Yes.
It's a post-apocalyptic sequel to Far Cry 5. That's essentially like it's going to be kind of like Far Cry Primal,
Yeah.
where it takes place on the same map as Far Cry 5, but it's going to be like a post-apocalyptic version of that map.
It looks like Rage 2.
It does look
It looks
exactly
a
like
lot
Rage
like
2.
Rage 2.
A very
guys.
colorful post-apocalyptic game.
Yeah. Millennial Pink, real big in the post-apocalypse, apparently.
Well, it is actually a trending color for January.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
That's actually a true thing.
Checks out.
Pantone.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay. Their excuse for this was interesting, though, or rather their justification for it. Like, DeCon even talked about it in, like, if you watch the gameplay reveal, where they say that what's happening right now is what scientists actually call as a super bloom. So they say, like, after a nuclear event, there's the nuclear winter where, like, everything's sort of blocked out. The sun is blocked out and shit kind of sucks. And, like, there's a bunch of die-off because the sun's rays can't get in.
Yeah.
And everything's kind of cold and sucks. And then when those clouds break up, there's a ton of rain and a huge deluge of rainfall. And what comes with that is what they call a super bloom, where like there's this huge amounts of overgrowth. And that's what they're saying. So you emerge from the bunker, wherever you happen to be, and there's all this overgrowth. So that's why there's flowers and wildlife all over the place, but they've all been affected by the radiation a little bit. So this is like, there's an explosion of like albino deer, and there's like bison, but they have like crazy stripes on them and all kinds of weird stuff. And then pink flowers everywhere, because apparently, so yeah, that and lots of dirt biking. Dirt biking very big in the post-apocalypse.
Well, it very much feels like Mad Max, where like vehicles are going to be like a big part of this.
Yeah. So like there's the highwaymen. They're the bad guys.
Right.
And, in the trailer we saw they're like attacking a fortress, which is very, very much like Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior. Like it's very reminiscent of that. But they later talked about how like you have this base of operations and that's going to be where you're based out of, and you'll be upgrading it as time goes on. And then new bad guys.
Yep.
The father is back though.
Somehow.
We don't know what
How
role
does he
plays.
live through the nuclear winter?
Well, he was in a bunker.
Yeah, but how does he not die of old age?
This is only 17 years later.
Oh.
Yeah. They said there's only 17
See,
years later.
I didn't look too far into that.
Yeah. So it's only been 17 years. So Joseph
yeah.
Seed could still be alive. And he makes a little appearance in the trailer. So we don't know what role he plays, if any. Or if he just does some VO and goes like, I told you so.
To be fair, the father was correct, Drew. He was right the whole time.
He was right. Not for the right reasons, but he was right.
Yeah.
He probably couldn't see the future. It was probably just a coincidence. But the bad guys are two twins.
Yep.
Two ladies.
Yep.
Who like to dirt bike and seem like badasses.
They also like to tie people to cars.
Yeah, that's in the box art.
Yep.
Yeah. Also, like a crossbow that shoots buzzsaws.
Yeah.
I'm going to say right now, that's not practical, but neato.
Yeah. I mean, you think that it would, the buzzsaw would break the drawstring on the crossbow, but I guess not.
No, they get some shit.
I
or something.
have
don't
some
know.
questions.
All right.
Yeah.
Lay them on us, bro.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Why is that guy still there?
Joseph Seed?
Yeah.
Because he was in a bunker.
He's in a bunker.
We just talked about that.
Yeah. Like in the ending, he gets to a bunker. So,
That's stupid.
and it's been 17 years.
He
So
survived.
Why are the
fall.
radio towers not blown up?
sometimes that happens.
Yeah.
Radio towers don't.
None of the radio towers fell down. They all just stayed up.
Some of them. I'm not saying all of them.
What happens to the rookie, the character you play in Far Cry 5?
Yeah.
Hopefully
Because he's
died.
also in the bunker.
Because they
Or
say
she.
you play
He
as
or
an-
she.
you play as a new character.
Yeah.
They have confirmed he plays a new
Yeah,
character.
he plays those two girls, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
No,
you
the
don't play
girls
as
are the
two
bad
girls.
guys.
No, those are the bad guys. Yeah, those are the villains. You play as someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think you're playing as the rookie.
You probably create your character again.
Though
too.
they have,
I'm
and
guessing.
they said they're bringing back some characters from Far Cry 5 have survived.
Yeah.
One of
'Cause
them
lots
better
of bunkers in
one
this
of them better be
place.
fucking cheeseburger or I am out.
Far Cry 5 is one of the biggest disappointments for me. It came out this year?
You
Last
did.
year?
Yeah, it was in March.
That story I think was absolutely terrible.
Yeah, I don't like it. To be fair, if I knew that this is where they were going with it and that like things were more tied together, I would have been more interested.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm curious about this
Also,
one now.
I think the gameplay in that game was really good, though.
I didn't think it was that over the top. I thought it could be a lot more fun.
I really like the gameplay in that too.
Yeah.
Like
I thought it was too grounded.
now
there was only 4 enemy types. You just end up killing the same people over and over and over again.
that
It
is
got
fair.
very repetitive.
Now, to be fair, the whole notion again, like the whole idea, like the dichotomy of like Far Cry 5 is Mad Max and New Dawn is Road Warrior. That's really cool. Again, if I knew that was coming, I probably would have been a little bit more invested in what was going on. And I'm a little bit more interested now, but I don't know.
Because then the ending, for example, like I know you both were really disappointed about the ending. Like the ending makes more sense now.
Yeah,
Like this is where that was
it
going.
makes more sense in terms of like we really wanted to make a post-apocalyptic game.
Yeah, exactly.
I wish there was more stuff. Again,
Yeah.
more stuff in the game that sort of pointed us towards that stuff. The whole idea of that's where it was going. But a little bit more, it's not just the original map. So it's the original map sort of remixed in a post-apocalyptic setting, but there's going to be some little like adjacent maps that you can fly to that aren't part of the open
Yeah,
world.
like Alcatraz is one of them, for example.
Yeah,
from what I
and
heard.
one of them is like a theme park and a few others. You can't drive to those. You have to like initiate like a transport to those kind of thing. Like they exist on a quote unquote separate map.
Yeah.
But
that's
there's
still
going
cool.
to be some more like variation in terrains and stuff like that.
Yeah. This is also, we should mention too, that this is not a full price game either. That this is, I think it's $50 Canadian
Yeah.
for this.
Which is cool.
It also is out soon, February 15th.
Yeah.
So it's like it's out in 3 months.
Yeah. And Ubisoft Montreal are the ones who worked on this one.
Yeah, exactly. So it's pretty cool. Like when they were done Assassin's Creed Odyssey, they were like, oh, let's put everyone else on this.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Because that's what studio made that. So there you go. That's all the big announcements at the Game Awards. Obviously, we're 40 minutes into the show, so we should keep going.
Yeah.
So Drew, tell me about the Epic Store. Because we saw lots of it during the Game Awards.
Lots of ads for a new game store, the Epic's Game Store, which is interesting because like some stuff was disappearing from Steam and Steam had made some changes and all of a sudden the Epic Store popped up and now they are pushing.
And we're talking Epic,
fucking-
Fortnite Epic.
Yeah, Epic Mega Games are pushing hard, which is, we should have seen this coming because they got that 10 cent money, right? Like
Yeah.
that's ultimately the end game because that's where the money is. The big thing here is that the story here is we got to talk about is the share of profits from a game or the share of the sales, right? All online platforms. So we're talking the Apple Store, the Google Play Store, Steam. They all share a similar revenue model, which is a 70-30 split, which means that as someone who, if you launch a game on Steam with the old revenue sharing system, how it worked was the creator took home 70% and Steam took 30, no matter what it was, no matter what happened, no matter how many sales you had or what, right? If you sold 4,000 copies or if you sold 1 million copies, right? It was 70-30. Recently, Steam just announced that they're changing that.
Yep.
It sort of like slides. The more money you make, the more you get to keep for yourself. So I'm not sure what the numbers are, but they go into like there's like an 80-20 split or something like that.
Yeah, it's I think it's 13% is what Steam takes.
Yeah, like by the time if you make X number of millions of dollars.
Yeah, that's at like the high, at the peak essentially.
Yeah. Now, Epic's store is out the gate is flat. It's 88 to 22%,
which is sweet,
which is great
for everyone.
Yeah, for everybody. And on top of that, if your game is made with the Unreal Engine, they flag, or rather they waive the royalty fee for the Unreal Engine.
Yeah,
which is good.
Yeah, I mean, that's just going to get so many more people to use the Unreal Engine for things.
So like they are really, really leveraging like the stuff that they've got to make this happen. Just like this is going to be huge. This is going to disrupt the space a lot.
Yeah, and we saw a lot of announcements during the Game Awards of games coming.
Ashen's on it.
Yeah,
Hello Neighbor.
Journey is coming to the Epic Store exclusively.
Yeah,
from PlayStation. I thought that game was going to be on PlayStation forever.
Yeah, expect to see more and more games only launching on the Epic Store because again, the other platforms just aren't as favorable or don't have the install base.
Yeah.
Epic has the benefit of having the install base because there are all these people that bought and installed Fortnite, and the Epic Store is being rolled into that.
Yeah.
So smart move.
Yeah. Very smart.
Yeah.
It's great.
Epic's going to fuck shit up. I'm like they're going to take a big bite out of Steam. Expect to see changes on the Steam front a lot in the next few years.
If you're a Fortnite content creator too, they sent out all those games for free.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So Ashen, Hello Neighbor, and one other.
Yeah.
I can't remember the other one.
I can't remember.
It was a good one though.
Yeah.
They're all good games.
But I thought Hello Neighbor was a good game.
Hello Neighbor's a piece of shit. I love it. The game is so broken, and then they go ahead and release another one. Because now you can have 2 fucking broken games and request your money back.
But it's this prequel to learn all about the events that led to Hello Neighbor.
I didn't even get to the events of that game because it's so fucking unplayable. It is honestly still one of the worst. I love it too because like you go to like Fan Expo or any Comic Con, and you know, any like EB Games, any Hot Topic, they have so much Hello Neighbor merch now, all on deep discount to like 90% off. Because when the game launched, it launched with like posters and T-shirts and hats and toys and like limited edition copies of the thing. Nobody bought them because I've never met anyone who likes that game. So all this shit is now sitting there. The character design is bad. Nothing about this game is good.
Yeah.
I cannot stand it. More like bye neighbor, am I right? Boom.
I love how angry you
rant
about
over.
this.
It is a garbage piece of game.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of the Winter of Arcade, though, Brock. I can't believe that it made the Winter of Arcade lineup.
I do not think it's right for the consumer. If your game is broken, don't make another one and make people buy a second one.
I don't even know what this is.
Hello Neighbor?
Yeah, somehow this missed my radar entirely.
It came out when March, I think, of this year.
Yeah, it was this year.
It was long delayed, and then they sent it to a bunch of Twitch streamers. And the thing is, you have to break in the house without getting caught. And originally, it looked kind of cool, but the game is so buggy and so unplayable that it's not worth it.
It reminds me a lot of Naughty Bear.
And you can't like,
how it plays.
Once you figure out the play pattern, you can understand it's the same game every single time.
Yeah.
There's no change up.
All right, Brock, I got to ask you this before we move on to our next topic. What game was worse this year? Hello Neighbor or The Quiet Man? Because
I don't know. I don't know. I can't say.
You can't say which one is definitively
I haven't
worse.
played The Quiet Man. I really want to play The Quiet Man.
Oh, jeez.
I really want to play The Quiet Man. But at least The Quiet Man knows it's campy.
It's true.
I don't know if it does. We know that it is.
I'm sure it'll be on deep discount, so I'll get it on sale this year, like at Boxing Day, and I'll play it then. I'll let you know.
Yeah.
No, so I can't say.
Yeah.
I played some really bad games this year, but Hello Neighbor is very much up there.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, speaking of bad games.
I also have 7 copies of that game. I have so many copies of this game.
Okay.
What?
Because they keep sending me more copies because I'm clearly in love with the game.
Jesus Christ.
Anyways, Drew.
Speaking of bad games.
Segue.
Fallout 76. That was a joke. That was a bad joke.
That's not even a good joke. That was the whole joke?
That wasn't.
Now, we should say, I do want to mention this because I didn't know where to fit this in the show that after everything we talked about with Fallout 76 last week,
they're doing it.
It was awesome to see that they came out on Twitter and said, hey, we're replacing the bags. Send us a receipt. We'll send you a new one when they're ready.
Yes.
That was an awesome move by Bethesda.
That was awesome. That was the thing that I thought they should do, but I never thought they would.
Yeah.
Which is they're making the bags.
Yeah.
Also, I want to say that the bags that the influencers got is not exactly the same.
Right.
It was in fact a different design of bag. There was a better quality bag.
I thought it was the same bag.
It was not exactly the same. It was a canvas bag that was very much a different design, which is immaterial. The whole point is that, yes, they're replacing the bags. That being said, oops, they leaked a bunch of people's addresses by accident.
I don't think that was intentional, though.
No, I said by accident.
It's never intentional.
I said by accident. I clearly said by accident.
Yeah.
No, so what happened was with their customer portal, they accidentally turned someone's account somehow into, and I'm not clear how this happened, whether that person was acting maliciously or not, but somehow turned that into an actual customer service portal and got all the service tickets for all of the bags, or most of them. So they got like personal addresses and financial information for people, and that was real bad. So they need to plug that hole real quick. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm glad they're making the bags, but Bethesda, that was just you've had too many bungles. That was one more that probably. I realized they couldn't have foreseen this, or at least not in this particular circumstance, but,
Yeah. All right. So let's move on because we only got 20 minutes left, guys, to talk about what we've been playing because we've been playing a lot of games this week. Brock, I'll actually go your way first because I know you got games to talk about. What did you play this week?
I've been away from us the week in LA. We had a show last week. Okay. So I played a lot of Fortnite. Well, I haven't. No, that's a lie. That's a straight up lie. I played a little bit of Fortnite.
You finished Pokemon, though.
I finished Pokemon. I wasn't finished. I was getting to Pokemon.
I know.
I finished Fortnite. I played a little bit of the new season. I love what I'm seeing. Drew's looking up Hello Neighbor on the computer, and I'm just looking at that horrible character design. And why would any kids would want to buy that toy? I don't know. He looks creepy.
He looks like the principal from Ferris Bueller's Day Off that turned out to be like a rapist.
That's the second time you brought him up this week.
He turned out to be a pedophile.
You're really obsessed with Ferris Bueller's Day Off principal.
Well, because you're looking at me like that guy's a pedophile, probably, right? And then years later, it turned out he was a pedophile. That's fucked.
Okay, moving on.
To be fair, the kids like weird stuff like that. Have you ever seen the kids obsessed with Five Nights at Freddy's?
Yeah, that has cool character design.
Or
anyway,
he kind of reminds me of what's that game or what's that cartoon about the people, the wild Gwillimberries? You know what I'm talking about, Thornberries.
Yeah,
the sequel to Rugrats.
He's got a little bit of
no, it's a spin-off of Rugrats.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Or like in the same world as Rugrats.
It's got that flavor a little bit going on there.
Anyways, back to what you were saying.
I played some Mutant
Year Zero is so fucking good.
I'm sure Drew will talk more about it, so I'll leave it for now.
Well, you guys can talk about it right now.
Okay, I love it, man.
It's so good.
It's ducking awesome, dude.
Oh, dude, Ducks is the best.
It's really, really. It looks amazing. It handles really well. Yeah. I put it on easy. It's still really hard for me because I'm not used to these type of games.
Yeah,
but I'm loving it.
Yeah, it's really, really good. So it's combination stealth action game and tactical squad based combat, right?
So think like a stealthy version of XCOM.
Yes. It has something in common. So it has similar stuff in common. So like in XCOM, when you go into a new map, you're in sort of like the initial, like you haven't been discovered yet mode. So you're basically positioning your troops, right? Mm-hmm. It has that kind of thing going for it, except it's instead of being turn-based all the time, that part of the game is real time. You're like wandering around and you go between sneaking and not sneaking. So sneaking is you put away your flashlight and you're kind of hunched around. So the idea is you explore the map and you find loot and you may or may not run into squads of bad guys. And when you do, if you get detected, then you go into squad-based combat at that point, turn-based squad combat. But what you can do is you can do cool stuff like you can have your character. First of all, you can split up your team so that you can position them so you can like ambush guys, and you do that by getting into areas. And if you hit hide, which is like you can hide behind anything that's a piece of cover, your character won't be detected. You won't be forced into combat if the enemy comes into their radius. So they got this big circle around them that you can see as they move around. So if you take, for example, ducks and you put them behind a tree and hit hide, when they come into that area, ducks won't be detected. You won't be forced into combat. Right. Which means that you can do stuff like place your team in like sort of like the ideal position around them. If you're careful and you sneak around, you can sort of like get the jump on people. You can also do stuff like if you do like silent attacks. So if you use things like the crossbow and stuff like that, you can pick off guys without all the other ones being alerted. So it's the stealth part of it is a big part to being successful in these combat encounters, because it's a huge part of how do you position your squad and how do you make sure that like how do you do that by picking guys off, because the more guys you fight at once, the harder it is.
My problem is my pig isn't stealthy at all. So every time he shoots, he always makes noise.
Yeah.
So how do you get around that?
You don't have to do that.
What do you mean?
So the dynamics for each of the characters is that Dux is like the long range stealth sniper, and Bronin, yeah, or something like that. The pig guy, the warthog guy, he's like he goes charging in. So all of his abilities are he goes charging in and like.
But he doesn't have a melee move, right? Sorry? I'm not missing something. He doesn't have a melee. I
don't think any of them have melees.
So then, how do you get away with him not shooting? What do you do instead?
Well, the loudness of an attack is based on their weapon.
Right.
So if he also had the crossbow, you could. The idea is that what you want to do is you want to like pick dudes off, right? And then when you're and get him as close as you can. So you sneak him in to like the middle of shit where he'll be the closest where he can rush someone and hit them with a shotgun and just wipe them out. So you want to get him closest to the guys that have like the highest health.
Right.
Whereas ducks, you want to have ducks around to like pick off the guys that would be lighter and could like flank him. Right. So like a lot of times you'll have like the big guy, like a marauder or something, or a higher level guy in the middle with more health. And you'll have the hunters around the outside. So one of the things I do is I'll put ducks at like a high point where I know that I can snipe dudes. I'll whittle down as many of those hunters as I can before fully engaging in combat. And again, like positioning like the pig close to guys where he can go out with either like his shotgun, or I found another weapon that like
I have a pistol for him too.
Is like an air cannon that does even more damage, but it has like way shittier range.
I haven't played a game like this since Mario Rabbids.
Yeah,
so I am not good at these games.
It's been a while. They don't come out that often.
It has a lot in common with Mario Rabbids.
It's making me really want to go back and play XCOM 2 because I've had that sitting on my hard drive for so long.
Yeah,
XCOM is a really great game, but it's a lot different than this. Like XCOM, you have like 7 people, and this I think your max squad size is maybe 3, maybe 5.
3, I think.
I've only seen 3 because the box art is 3. But you can find more characters.
Yeah.
Also, if you're looking for a game like this and you haven't tried it yet, Brock, I think you should try Valkyria Chronicles because it plays like this as well. Yeah. It's like anime themed, but it's still like a third person
for the Switch.
For the Switch or any of the other consoles. There's a demo, and it's really awesome.
Okay.
So the other part of this too is there's a whole RPG thing to this as well. So there are your characters level up. You find equipment and you level up, and you level up and you have points, and you can spend those points on mutations. And those mutations do things like give you more hit points or give you special abilities. Like Dux has a special ability where he can grow moth wings, and like you think he will grow duck wings, but no, they're mutants. So
yeah,
the animations are really cool.
They're really great. So he grows moth wings and he can fly up and like sort of snipe dudes from up high, or he can use his moth wings to get up to places that were otherwise not accessible by characters on foot. So that's really, really cool. He has the smoke grenades, and the pig guy, he has the Molotov cocktails, but like those are usable items. You have like a base where you can buy upgrades and stuff like that. And you can buy new weapons. You trade scrap, which you find in the real world, and weapon parts for weapons and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. There are weapon upgrades and stuff like that. There's a whole RPG layer on top of that is really fun. I'm just getting my feet wet. Like I've played through the first 4 missions.
So what you're saying is you're getting all your ducks in a row.
Yeah, I'm going to say this right now. That was a terrible pun, but I love ducks, so I'll put up with it.
Fair enough.
And by ducks, I mean like we've talked about this.
Yeah.
Bird nerd.
I'm gonna include this game on like a list. Like it's moving up my list of favorite games I played.
I started watching some playthroughs of this game just before it came out, and then got real excited. And when I got my hands on it, I'm like, this is living up to everything that I hoped it would. It's a lot of fun.
It's really good.
It's got a really, really good flavor. Like it's set in a post-apocalypse, right? Like the sort of name mutant implies. You playing as mutants. Mm-hmm. You're fighting against like the ghouls who are like humans that have gone crazy kind of thing. Yeah, it's got a really cool setting.
I also didn't know that this was a licensed game. It's based off some other property.
It's based off of pen and paper RPG.
Yeah,
from years ago. So like it's got like a bunch of like the loading thing is like a D4 or D6.
I was wondering why that was
like that. Yeah.
Now you know.
Because it's based off of a pen and paper RPG, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Originally, the plan was for it to be more like XCOM, where there was permadeath. So, like, you would have, like, characters, and then if they died, you'd never get them again. And you would get new ones that were going to be randomly generated. But they ended up falling in love with the Ducks model so much that they decided to get rid of permadeath as part of the game, and it's just like if your characters die, then this is game over, and you just have to load again.
So but one of your character dies, he comes back though.
You can up a down character.
No, but if you die, you beat the
level. They come back.
Yeah.
If all of your squad dies, then it's game over, and you have to load a game again.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. There's also stuff like there's sort of like it's almost open worldy a little bit. Like each of the maps is open, and they'll have higher level encounters that you can come back to and try. They do like the skull enemy thing, basically they indicate this enemy is way too high level for you to take on right now. And like the first couple levels are basically like a tutorial, and they do a pretty good job of teaching the game, and then it just gets sort of more complicated from there. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to playing more of this game. I wish I was playing it right now.
Oh geez. I mean, I've been waiting to jump in because I just don't have Game Pass at the moment. But I am going to sign up because Below is coming out next week. Finally coming out.
And Ashen
just came out. And they're all going to be on Game Pass. Like Below is on Game Pass as well. I'm going to subscribe for a couple months. And then
I know people are mad about Ashen because it has odd numbered gamer score achievements.
Oh, that's a huge pet peeve for someone like me. It's annoying.
See,
There's like one achievement that's worth 17 points.
I don't care at all. I just find it really weird that they do that.
Yeah.
I don't know why they do that.
I mean, there were like games back when 360 launched that had achievements that had 2 gamer score associated.
Right.
What? What was that? What's that all about?
I don't know. So I finished Pokemon.
Yeah.
I finished Pokemon.
You liked it?
I put up a review. I said I loved it.
Yeah.
It was a really, really good game.
Yeah.
If you like Pokemon Red, Yellow, Blue.
Oh yeah, exactly.
This is for you. I think it's cool looking back. Like I look back and watch some screenshot and like videos of like Pokemon Red and Blue. And in my mind as like an 8-year-old kid playing that game, this like the Pokemon Switch version is how I viewed that game. Like I couldn't believe I was like, oh, that was an ugly looking game.
Yeah.
But like that's how I looked at it. It felt like a real world, and this feels very much like a real world.
And the gameplay still holds up. It's great. Really easy.
I love that you can avoid Pokemon now. There's no random encounters.
You don't have to fight a million Zubats in the cave. You can if you want.
You can if you want, but you don't have to. I have like a pretty good stellar lineup of Pokemon. I haven't found Bulbasaur though. Is he in the game?
He's actually in the very first area.
Really?
When you leave Pallet Town. And he's like in the first like zone.
But someone doesn't give him to you.
No, you have to actually catch him.
I find it funny that like the nurse gives you Charmander and someone else gives you Squirtle.
Wait, that you have to catch Bulbasaur?
We have to catch Bulbasaur.
Yeah, Bulbasaur is a rare Pokemon in the field, essentially.
That is really weird.
I'm gonna go back and try and find that then.
Huh.
I need Venusaur, man.
It's true.
There's some Pokemon like I want a Ditto really bad. I don't know where to find Ditto. Yeah. I think he's near the end.
He is near the end, yeah.
I fought a Ditto.
He doesn't appear that often too. He's one of the rarer.
Yeah. I remember in the original game he was really hard to find. Like it took a long time.
It was meant to be challenging. Like in general, RPGs where you have a character that can like reproduce a character's ability, the mime ability as it's known in like Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Those characters are almost always like secret characters are hard to find.
Now does he come up as Ditto or does he come up as someone else?
He comes up as Ditto.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's like that would be cool if he appeared as though you were fighting someone else and then he turned into a Ditto somehow.
And then you're like, oh shit, I should have caught that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's clever.
Yeah.
I should do that.
I should write games.
You should.
Okay.
All
right. We got 8 minutes, so I'm going to run through very quickly the games I played because I have 3 I wanted to highlight.
All right.
So number 1, Assassin's Creed DLC came out this week, The Legacy of the First Blade, Episode 1.
Is it good?
It's surprising that it's episodic, first of all, that it's DLC, a huge expansion for this game, but it's episodic. It's weird. But yeah, it's awesome. I mean,
the first blade is the first hidden blade. Yes.
Yeah. So it's the wielder of the first hidden blade, Darius. He's from Persia.
Oh.
And his story involves he like Xerxes and basically a new cult that starts in Persia, which is the cult that is you fight in Assassin's Creed Origins.
Wait, his name
that
is,
then becomes the Templars.
his name is Darius?
His name is Darius.
Does he spit hot fire?
No. He just stabs you with
Brock?
with a hidden blade.
Darius? Spits hot fire?
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of hot fire. I haven't got far enough to get into the DLC.
Yeah, you have to finish chapter 7 in order to access it.
Okay.
So it's pretty late in the game.
And it's a big fucking game.
Well, it's only like 80 hours, Brock. It's fine.
Only 80 hours, Ryan.
You can go fast. It's fine.
Okay.
Not a problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I really liked what I played of it. I kind of wish though that I would have waited till the second part comes out.
Yeah.
Because like it like basically leaves off with like this big cliffhanger that you can't play until the second part comes out. Mm-hmm. But there were a lot of new missions. I love the fact that there's like new cult members to go hunt and a lot of new activities. Like this DLC, like just chapter 1 was about 10 hours of gameplay.
Yeah.
Just for the first part.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm starting to feel like it's going to be like Witcher-sized DLC by the time it's done, where it's going to be like I'm thinking like the Fate of Atlantis DLC is probably going to be like 40 hours.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, that's the one I'm really looking forward to is the second pack. So the next game I played, going to be very surprising to the folks here. I played Darksiders 3.
Why?
We're not surprised you played it. You were very excited about it.
Why?
So first of all, after the game came out, because I waited till the game came out because I didn't want to buy it right away.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of gameplay and reviews of Darksiders 3.
Uh-huh.
It's a linear action game.
Yes.
It's very Souls-like, and it looked totally up my alley. So I decided to give it a chance.
All right.
I picked up Darksiders 3. First of all, it's not even a full price game because it's a budget title. And honestly, I liked what I played. Like it was kind of what I was craving, where I was not craving, at least right now, I'm not really craving like an open world, like massive game. I'm looking for like a more linear action game, which this fits the bill of it. It's actually surprisingly fun. I'm actually having a lot of fun with it.
So your expectations were set appropriately low.
Yep.
And
they were met.
There you go.
Yeah. So like I'm like maybe 5 to 6 hours in the game so far, and
it pains me that you're playing this over Red Dead.
But Red Dead, I can't force myself to play it.
Yeah.
That's the problem with Red Dead is that it's a game that I have to be in the mood for, and I just haven't been in the mood for that type of game
An
right
epic
now.
Western.
Yeah. I mean, the problem is every time I go to play that game, I sit at it for an hour and can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
It's just, I can't get in for whatever reason. I love the story in Red Dead, but I can't get into the gameplay of it.
Yeah.
Like just everything else besides the
Just
cutscenes.
saying, it's been over about 6 weeks now. Still don't have an update. Still waiting on a day 1 patch.
Yep.
Hey, but multiplayer's out.
Multiplayer
Multiplayer
is
is
out.
out.
Beta.
Not for me.
What I'm hearing is that like basically Red Dead Online right now in its current form is just like there's way fewer NPCs and the world kind of feels empty right now.
It's okay.
Yeah.
All
right.
So
I played it for a bit, and then apparently progression isn't going to cross over to actual, so I stopped playing because I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, they're still fine tuning the economy, which is exactly what happened with Grand Theft Auto Online as well. They weren't quite sure how they were going to make the economy work.
They did some big. I got an email yesterday. They did some huge updates on it, so
Okay.
should be better.
What's the third game, Ryan?
the third game, Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. It came out on Friday, and I can't stop playing it. It's awesome, except for the single player mode, which is World of Light. I do not like it very much. Basically, the way World of Light works, it's you guys saw how Spirit Battles work, where they're very much just themed around a third party character, and you fight like the Smash Brothers equivalent in game, and there's usually like special conditions. World of Light is literally 20 hours of that. Like just those battles, which I'm not really really engrossed with, because I love the setup for World of Light with like the story of all the characters being trapped. I would have loved to see more cutscenes. I'm 6 hours into it and I haven't seen a single cutscene or fought a boss. It's literally just going on a giant, like beautiful looking map, mind you, and fighting individual spirit battles, which is not really entertaining to me. But the one mode that really caught me off guard, and the one I've been having the most fun with, classic mode, which is returns from every single Smash Brothers game, where you basically, it's kind of like arcade mode. But what they did, which I wasn't expecting, that they haven't really done with any of the other Smash Brothers games, is they tailor the arcade mode to who the person you select is. So for example, if you pick Ryu, what ends up happening is it basically creates the 8 levels as like the first 8 fighters you fight in Street Fighter, where you go from place to place, and the stage setups that you go to are set up like the Street Fighter levels, where you
do you punch a car?
You do punch a car as a bonus area.
Okay.
There's also, when you go to levels 2, they have the classic Street Fighter music of that stage playing.
Okay.
And then when like the character you're fighting, like they're all stamina battles, so each person has a health bar. When the health bar gets halfway on your opponent, it then goes to like the fast music, which is a nice touch.
Does anyone ever at any point in the VO say Japan?
No, but there is a point in
China.
the VO where they're
China.
like, "My fight money," because you fight Little Mac, who's basically Balrog in the Balrog colors with a stage that looks like Balrog stage, and when you beat him, he says it.
That's very
It's
funny.
amazing.
Okay.
And they do that for every single character, and they have remember how we saw boss characters Dracula and other boss fights. When you get to the end of the arcade mode for a character where there's a boss fight for them, you'll fight that boss instead of Master Hand. So like when you beat the game as young Link, the final boss isn't Master Hand, it's Pig Ganon from Link to the Past. Like his same sort of
or as I know him, Ganon.
Yeah. The real Ganon.
Fucking Ocarina.
Yeah, so they basically take like the Ocarina of Time, not Ocarina of Time, Link to the Past Ganon, and then they blow him up in 3D, and that's the final boss, which is so cool. They have like awesome. The music from Zelda 1 playing while you fight him. It's so cool. So the problem I have with Smash Brothers Ultimate, before we wrap up, is that it feels to me like, yes, this is by far the best Smash Brothers game, in my opinion. It moves as fast as Melee does. It feels like Melee when you play it, but it takes all the lessons they learned from the newer Smash Brothers games and what made those work well and brought them into this game. My problem with it though is it feels very samey, and it kind of like when I really sat down and thought about it, the game it reminds me the most of is Mortal Kombat Armageddon. Do either of you guys know about Mortal Kombat Armageddon?
I know
on
of
the PS2.
I do not.
On the PS2.
Those were the Mortal Kombat games, that and like what was the other one called? Mortal Kombat something.
Deadly Alliance.
Deadly Alliance,
Yeah.
and then there was like Mortal Kombat. We don't like our friends or something.
So the thing with Mortal Kombat,
those are the Mortal Kombat
Armageddon
games I didn't play.
The reason why Armageddon it made me think of it is basically Armageddon is like Smash Brothers Ultimate. It throws the kitchen sink at the
every single character.
Every single character that ever appeared in Mortal Kombat was in that game.
It had Sub-Zero. It had Girl Sub-Zero.
Yeah,
it had everything.
And it basically had it was like the pinnacle of what they could do with the evolution that they had done with Mortal Kombat, with the 3 games that came before it, that generation, but then all of the Mortal Kombat games that came before it.
It had Rain.
And that was the last game we got in the series before the reboot of Mortal Kombat.
Noob Saibot.
So this very much feels like the same situation where it's like, this is the pinnacle of where Smash Brothers in its current iteration will go. I'm thinking more of the future of Smash Brothers as like, if they do another game in the same style that they've done this game in, where like if they don't reboot the series, I think it's going to feel very samey for a lot of people past this point. Like, I love that we have Smash Brothers Ultimate. I think that if you're going to play Smash Brothers at all, play this version of the game, because I think this is the best version of Smash Brothers to play. But I will be very disappointed in 5 or 6 years when we see a new game in the series if it's exactly the same as this game.
Ryan, who's the Ermac of this game?
Who's the Ermac of this game?
Yeah.
Wii Fit Trainer.
Yeah. Good answer.
Yeah. So those are just my thoughts on Smash Brothers. I'm still loving it. I think that it is an amazing accomplishment in gaming, but I'm just worried a little bit about the future of the franchise if they're going to keep it with the same model essentially going forward. Anyways, that's going to do it for this week's show. But before we go, Drew, plugs go.
I'm at DM McMillan on Twitter, and go to game-news.com. I will have some free time in the next couple of weeks, so maybe I'll write something. I have some articles that are like all half written, and hopefully I'll get time to finish them and put them up. I really want to write a Hitman 2 review. Here's my Hitman 2 review in a nutshell. It's an 8 out of 10. It's a great fucking game. But its story is kind of poopy, like its overall arc narrative, but the narratives within each level are actually very good. Mm-hmm. It does some really good, so like environmental storytelling and that stuff, great fun. But the overall, the narrative in between the missions and the stuff that's meant to tie together, I don't like. It's really very kind of, it's real thin, it's real skim milk. So fuck that. But yeah, expect some stuff from us in the next couple of weeks.
I mean, as long as we have time, I know that you and I both have some stuff we're going to try and do. So, Brock, where can people find you?
Oh man, you can find me all over the place, guys. Just literally fucking search my name. I don't know. Brock
Go to Brock
McLaughlin.
McLaughlin on Twitter.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a bunch of reviews up for Brockstar Gaming. I'm doing a ton of holiday gift guides this week. They paid me to write, and they're boring as hell. But let's do them. I'll show you the best shit of the year, man.
Okay, here's
For
my
every
holiday
budget.
gift guide. Like Hitman 2 and Mutant Year Zero. Go play those games. Buy those games for your friends.
I have like a big book list you can check out.
book list.
Yeah, a bunch of my favorite fucking weeds.
Your favorite weeds?
Yeah, my favorite weed, man.
Like
A big book list and a big fucking my favorite cannabis strands.
your favorite strains?
Because those go hand in hand. You smoke the reefer and then you read a book.
Is that how that works?
Expand your mind, man.
What's the best strain of weed to smoke while playing Mutant Year Zero?
Pineapple Express.
Really?
Yeah, Pineapple Express is pretty damn good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That Hawaiian shit.
A weed made after the movie came out.
None of that Maui Wowie shit, huh?
No, Maui Wowie. Maui Wowie is pretty good, though.
Does this have anything to do with all that anti-vaping stuff we saw during the Game Awards, guys?
Yeah,
I'm just saying, if you vape, you're 5 times more likely to smoke cigarettes.
Vaping companies, trust me, I ain't gonna start vaping. You're good.
Yeah.
I'd rather just smoke cigarettes than vape.
Yeah. The fucked up thing, I mean, the crazy thing about vaping is that people use vaping as a cigarette cessation tool. So yes, if you vape, you probably there's a good chance that you may have smoked or are smoking. I don't think that's the message they wanted to get across. I think I don't think they went about it in a smart way. But the point is this: is if you're a kid, don't fucking vape. I know it makes you look fucking cool and it probably tastes great. But also, nicotine is ridiculously addictive. And trust me, you don't want to be addicted to a chemical that you have to pay a fuck ton of money for. And you will. That's all this is. This is a way for companies to get you addicted to something that you have to keep paying money into. Don't be fucking stupid like that. Yeah. Don't do that shit. Seriously, don't vape. It's dumb.
It's a waste of money.
If you're a grown-ass adult, make your own choices. If you're a kid, though, get away from that shit now, man. Like, do yourself a favor. Don't, like, I smoked as a kid, and then I probably have put $50,000 in like the history of me being alive into smoking.
You'll have more money for video games that way.
That shit real fucking dumb.
You know, you should buy history books because some of you need a history lesson.
Absolutely.
Understand and appreciate other people.
Absolutely.
And as for me, you can find me on Twitter at Ryan Turford. That's TURFORD. You can find our website, game-moose.com, for more of this. Whatever this is. You can also find us on Twitter at game_moose_cast, on Facebook.
Watch me on your televisions this week.
Yeah.
I'm going to be on HUD this week.
Oh, you're going back?
Yeah.
Cool.
I should also mention Saturday I will be on, as long as nothing breaks, I will be on Nintendo Talk Live. So go with the Nintendo Guru.
Yeah.
So go check us out. Twitch.tv/the Nintendo Guru.
Nintendo Guru, what a guy.
He's a good dude, Bobby. He's a good guy.
I'd spank his bum.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I'll do anything sexual with him, but like I definitely I'd vape with him.
Okay.
Wait,
I wouldn't.
sorry.
Wow.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Shit. Wrong message. Didn't want to send that. No. Sorry, guys.
And we're going to wrap the show. So for Drew McMillan and Brock McLaughlin, I'm Ryan Turford. This has been episode 149. Only one more episode before 150. And we're out.
Vape life.
Vape.